whether it was redemption, whether it was empathy, or just forgiveness. You got that from the movie, and it did it in such a beautiful way that it really resonated with you. I've been waiting almost a year now to watch this movie. I posted this video 10 months ago reacting to the trailer, and last night I finally got to watch it. And it was everything I wanted it to be and more. It blew me away. I was so happy with it. This is more of a reaction to it, but like, I know some people are already gonna say they didn't have some major arcs in it and that it felt rushed, but for one, it was a 2-hour movie covering an entire freaking manga series, so I expected that. Now, I didn't really care about the technical aspects as much as I just wanted to get those thematic messages from the movie, and it delivered them in such a beautiful and profound way that I was totally satisfied by the movie. Whether it was redemption, whether it was empathy, or just forgiveness. You got that from the movie, and it did it in such a beautiful way that it really resonated with you, and that's why I was so happy with the movie. Whether it was the way you empathized with Nishymiya and her struggle and her fight and continuing to try to be a good person and be happy and be friendly to make friends, and realizing that it's not that easy for everybody to make friends and just be that person. And like, what really got me was that, you know, with Nishymiya, it's like I've been that kid before. I was that kid in middle school at one point where this kid asked everybody in the classroom to raise their hand if they didn't like me, and everybody raised their hand. Man, it's cool now, you know what I'm saying? I'm good. But you know that it does hurt, and so it's like, that's why this story was incredible to me and why it's so close to my heart, because I think I really related to her. You know, I mean, yeah, I can hear, but it doesn't matter what you have. It stings when you're insulted, and it stings whenever you feel ostracized, and almost everybody is capable of feeling that pain. Not only empathy with Nishimiya, but also with Ishida, because Ishida, you know, yeah, he did some messed up shit, and you know, karma came back to get him after he bullied this innocent girl. But empathy is not for only like one side of the coin. You know what I'm saying? Like, it shows that you can make mistakes, but if you learn from them, then you're just as deserving of empathy. If you truly and sincerely feel pain and want to repent for what you did. And you really do see that with Ishida. It's to the point of, it's like, I don't want to give away any spoilers, so I can't really say the scene, but you watch the movie, you'll know what I'm saying. So empathy was one of those thematic messages that really just strikes you. And another thing is forgiveness, because one of the biggest things for Nishyimiya is that she was forgiving, and it was almost like heartbreaking to see the way that she continued to smile after she was getting tormented. But you realize that sometimes a smile hides a lot of pain. You realize that forgiveness is an amazing thing in life, and sometimes holding grudges isn't the best way to go about things. That's what Nishimiya doesn't do. She doesn't hold grudges. She forgives, almost to a heartbreaking point, because she's getting tormented in middle school or elementary school, give or take, and she just continued to smile, and that was just so beautiful. And so that really was another driving point, just the whole theme of forgiveness, and then self-forgiveness with Ishida, because he was so grief-stricken because of what he did. Yeah, just forgiveness was another part of it, and even redemption, because again, Ishida hated himself for what he did. He hated himself for his actions. He hated himself. It's true though that he hated himself because he was punished for what he did, but that doesn't take away from the fact that he still felt grief for what he did. And I think that shows because he tried to learn sign language throughout the years after that. So, because that showed that he put in effort, I think, to look at another side of life after all that experience. And yeah, it may have come in a way that was kind of pretentious, but he still at least learned a lesson and then seeked redemption. You know, Maybe not sometimes in the best way possible, but he did. And redemption is available for anybody. If you just know what you did wrong and you can admit that, you can be honest, and your heart can let go of the pain. Well, first your heart, if your heart can first take in what you did, feel that grief, but then understand that if you can look forward and try to redeem yourself and right your wrongs, then redemption is for everybody. And that's why I kind of related it to the Kite Runner with the mirror. I think that was his character name. It's been a while, but redemption is really for everybody. And then that's why it was just such a beautiful story, and it touched on bullying and disabilities, and that really got me too, because it's like I know that this girl is not the only. It's just a representation of what a lot of people have to experience in life, and that's just because kids are cruel. Now let's just also go. I'm just gonna mention also the OST, the soundtrack, because it was fittingly all instrumental. It was all lyric free. If you compare that to, like, Your Name, that's really different. Although Your Name was fire. Okay, it was because Radwimps is, I'm so into them now, but that's not the point. The point is, it was beautiful. And actually, on YouTube, this guy named Panda Man made a comment, and I was like, wow. But the soundtrack, each track becomes progressively clearer throughout, so like 1 through 9, and it parallels nicely with the actual character development in the story, and I thought that was really cool. Good job, Panda Man. And then you just have courage. Courage is just another big part of it. Like, courage to face your mistakes and face your wrongs, and that's why it all ties in together to, like, empathy, courage, and redemption, because you need the courage to seek the redemption and right your wrongs, and you need empathy to understand what you did wrong in the first place, and then empathize with others at the same time. All these overlaying thematic ideals just come together in a way that, like I said, tears at your heart and makes you think, and that's what I wanted the series to do, and it did. If you can just stay strong and persevere through all that, life gets a lot better. And I think that's really what this film shows, is that there's light at the end of the tunnel, and that's really what I love.